Yeah, so I used a 27.5 mil, it says on it when I measure it now after cleaning it, 40 millimeter and 1000 meter, which is a meter long. I make them extra long on purpose because, you know, it depends what box you're going to put on it. So now a lot of them sell the 1.5, 3/4 and 3 feet, which to me the 3 feet is a little short, you know, sometimes. I don't know how that works. I don't really want a short head on my guitar. Now I'm making this one, and this is a different tin box altogether, as you can see, right? And I had to work out how far this comes in and where it's going to be placed. So, you know, if you have a short end and all of a sudden it's in here, you've lost it. This brace of wood has to go right through underneath to make it easier to put your string anchors here, you know, because there's an awful lot of pull on them. So basically I'm going to put my anchor piece here, and, you know, then we'll carry on from there. But, you know, your box could be larger or your box could be smaller, and then you can cut off these ends and you can cut off the end up here as well. So that's why I take an extra long neck piece and then find out where I'm going to go. And how are you going to fix it in the box too, see? So let's get back to that in a minute. All right, so I've got that far. Let's get into some other things. I will put up a drawing so you can see the frets, measurements and that. And you can actually freeze it and copy it. Right, now, we've talked a little bit about the size of the wood and everything. And then if you get a larger tin, you're going to have less cutoff here for your anchor. This is the solid piece going through the whole can. And that way, when you tighten the strings here and you have an anchor, if you had it on this tin, it would just most likely bend it up. But this is on the same solid piece. All right? Now normally, on the last one I didn't put on a top piece here, but on this one I did. For the fun of it, I'm trying to improve my building skills slowly. Well, see, I'm just going to say about the different cans you can use. Now you could use a biscuit can. I got this one in an auction. Actually not an auction, in a market down in Béziers. How lovely it is. It's an old one. It was like €4. I couldn't resist it. I wasn't even building this. And you could use a cooking pot. I've got a knife. I've realized that knife cutlery boxes are quite nice because they're larger and you get the wood sound. Cooking pot. I saw a guy that used a copper pot, and it was a larger bottom on it, and it was a lovely sound out of it. On YouTube, if you look around YouTube, you can see. You can use the biscuit can, the cutlery knife, and being in France, I noticed the wine boxes are really nice to make, but I haven't found one yet that's for sale. Goes to show. But anyway, so you've got all these different boxes you can go around hunting and having fun with and designing your guitar. And you know, the fun of it is in the designing, okay? Now, once you get the guitar, see, you have to decide on the sound holes. Now on this one, I don't want to ruin the graphic. So I'm going to put the sound holes in here somewhere. Like this. So the graphic stays, and I have the 4 sound holes. Now on the pot, which is up there, I'll grab it. I decided to put a center sound hole in this, see? And you know, you can see the kitchen drain piece here. But I decided to put a central sound hole and then this sieve underneath. I bought a couple of sieves, but this was the best one. Oops, I've got something in there. And it's got a lovely sound to it. That's because the metal's coming through. And that's because I got metal pickups on either side, like bridges on either side. I played around with different kind of bridges, which we'll get to in a minute. But the sound hole was a problem in the sense I had to cut out my bridge, or my neck piece going through. I didn't have it come out the other side. I bolted it on back here. So I had a bridge problem, and I had to build this. I built out a handle a bridge, and it basically, when they tighten the strings, it just cracked clean off. But I put on this deadbolt piece, which is like seriously strong, and it's anchored to the back of the pot, and that holds it. So there you go. But you know, if you put a central hole, you got to cut out to let the sound come out somehow. So you know, there's one of those things you got to think about before you do it. And you know, I didn't think about it till I'd already made the hole in the center. So this is my first one, so there you go. And it was a lot of fun, but you know, you do learn quickly that's more work when you make the central piece, the central hole figuration instead of the ones. And you know, I could have done a half round here. It would have been really nice, and a half round here, left the center solid. But that's this one anyways. And there's more things to think about. How are you going to design it? Do you want to make it more difficult by putting the hole in the center? You know, there are all these aspects to it. You have to work out also where your bridge is going, which I'll show you now. So here's the drawing I made to help people out with the frets and the measurements, which I'll put up on the very end for an extra couple of seconds, so you can all look at it, read it, or copy it. I don't really mind. Now, the frets, the bridges, are very interesting. So you lay out your frets. This is copied off my guitar, and at the 12th is halfway between what you ask. Between the front bridge, which is here, right? This is from the guitar, this measurements, all the way back. And the 12th fret is halfway from the center of that bridge to there. And I'll look, just got to look at the measurement. I think it's 325 for my one there. Should be for yours if you're copying my system here. But the interesting part is now, see, is this neck is laid in. So when I do the second 325 to my bridge, it's going to end up around here, right? So I had to plan to pull this in this far, this fret in this far, so that this bridge would land here out of the way of the image. So I did plan this, and if you look at this here, and you take a tape measure, it's a little bit in, 25. I think that's as tight as I could get it nearly. So it's just on the back of the man there. So that's where it's going to end up. And you can see I'm trying to balance it out. So 325 and 325, another half to the front. So you have to think about these things before you put on your neck. Your neck, that has to be in the right position so you get this measurement, so you don't end up like this. I like the look of this here, and I compromise this little bit of this image here for it. So there you go. That was basically your artistic decision that you have to make, is where this bridge ends up on your unit or your thing. And some of them I'll end up back. Some of the bridges I'll put back here, you know, on some of the units I build because it's easier. Anyways, there we go. That's that done. Actually, I'm sorry, that's where the anchor for the, I'm terribly sorry, I made a mistake there. I won't go back there with the bridge. I'll go back there. This is the anchor for the wires. So the wires come up here and come out. Apologize for that. There we go. And so that's that. And I'm epoxying them in with some Chinese, I don't know what it's called, Kafter epoxy stuff, 50-50. That's what I'm epoxying the stuff in with. Anyways, there we go. That's most likely all of that at the moment. And there's the frets marked out. I'll put up the image. Now how you fix it in here is interesting. On the first one, I put a bolt in the back on the pot, and this cut off, and I bolted to the back of the tin with another piece, right? But on this one, this lid comes off. I want to put electrics in them later on, right? So this lid comes off and it's on the underside, but I only just epoxied this on. But I can tell you right now, with this epoxy stuff, it's going nowhere. So you can see the epoxy's in there. It's going nowhere, it's gonna stay. And see, I did cutouts, so it sits in the can and the lid goes on, which is kind of neat. I can go and get my electrics in and then screw this on afterwards. See, you got to think this out. So there you go. There's no more ideas for you. So basically, if you put the brace through the the box, right through the box, it's better for the string tension because you can pull as hard as you like. It's not going to snap. Now I'll just show you some frets. As you can see, I put on a very unusual bridge here, and you know, it might be a little slanted, a bit moving, but I really like it. Now, with the frets, we'll go up here a little. With the frets, I soldered two copper wires together. Now, if my calipers is laying around here somewhere, we can tell you how wide it is. You can go up to, I have on my thing here, 2 millimeters for the frets on the guitar. This one is 1.8 roughly. So this fret is 1.8, right? And I soldered two of these copper wires, electrical copper wires together. Cut a slot, as you can see I was testing. And I cut a slot and I put it in like that and epoxied it. And then I cut off the ends. And here am I testing just a single wire, a large and a smaller one. I'm not too sure which one to use yet, but I like the way they're working out. So I'm testing out on frets yet. In some ways, you know, if you don't have a solder gun and all that, it's nearly better just to buy them on eBay or something because the frets are quite reasonable price. So this guitar didn't really cost that much. I only paid $15 for the upper keys, and I paid a couple of dollars for the strings each, $2 strings, so 2, 4, 6, say. Actually, it was only about $5, and then 15, about $20. This whole unit cost me, or 25, we'll say, just to be nice. So $25, and this was all done, right? I don't know what else to say about this. Let me think. Oh, these little spots, dots in here are actually just nail heads. I decided to keep it mechanical, kind of clean, kind of metal looking. So that's all those are. And the wood is a little soft, which is something I might not do again. We'll see. I always say that, and then I don't have the wood and I use a soft wood again. So now what's interesting is even on this mandolin, when you go to the 12th string and you measure from the front bridge to there and there to the back, they're the same. So it's not just the guitar, it's on almost nearly all instruments because it gives the right kind of sound. The only other thing you have to watch for is your string height, which I forgot to chat about. You want to get your string height, you know, like 2 mil off of the frets. Hang on, let me get it so you can see it. There you go. You want to adjust, and you don't want to get too high back here. You know, otherwise the tone changes when you press down. So there's another one. Same thing again. 12th fret here, halfway from the front, and then right to the back, halfway to the back of the bridge here. Now, let's look at the here. Can you see this? Let me get it in. So see the strings, they're a little tighter here, and they're a little bit more off. Where are we? Sorry, they're off the guitar up here. They're off the guitar more. But you want to get too far away that when you press down it changes the tone. Okay? Just to show you on the frets, let's get a light over here. I got to block out that side of that because it blinds the camera. There we go. This saw, when you put it in, pull back. I pressed coming back because it doesn't splinter as much. Is exactly the right size for these copper frets, copper wire frets to go into. I've sawn a bit too deep just showing you, but that's what the idea is. Now you don't want them to have them too loose like this. But see, that's perfect there. You want to go along your whole neck with them sticking up a little and then get them exactly the right height you want. And then make sure that they're all flush, each fret all the way along the guitar. So I put one in here, one away up, and lay a straight edge on it, epoxy those two in, and then put in the others. So yeah, I just put in my keys from the back here. You drill a hole and you screw them in. I like these types of keys. I don't want to get the other ones that have the little screws on. They have two little pegs that go in here, and you just press it in, make marks, and drill two little holes, and they stay put. It's really nice. You just tighten that up and away you go. And I forgot my neck. I forgot to say what my neck is. My neck is around, yeah, 14 millimeter wide. So, you know, it can go a little higher, a little lower, but not much. But that's, mine's 14. You can go actually 15 if you want. And I have kind of trimmed it back just a little bit at an angle. Here is the 325 from the front bridge to the 12th fret. And then from the 12th fret to the back bridge is the same. Alright. Now there's the drawing. I don't know what else is on there. Now it's alright the 12th fret to the halfway, but the halfway to your back bridge you have to pay attention to where it lands. You have to decide where your box is going to go and how far this part of the neck comes in or doesn't come in. I like it coming in a little. And I leave this a little extra long up here so that I can get my keys in and everything and move the box up and down a little. And then I can always cut off a little bit of that end and a little bit of this end. So always leave your neck piece a little bit extra long so you can play around with your design. I don't know what else there is. Right, we've done all the wood, done the halfway. Here are all the measurements for your frets. Now you can use copper wire. It's a little bit harder way to go. I'm trying a single wire now. I'll let you know how that turns out. And if you have any ideas of improving, which I'm going to keep doing, I must get some hardwood next time, and we'll keep improving until we get a really nice guitar. So I just added this on the sheet. This is the strings. I bought the keys and I bought the strings, GDG, and there's the measurements, 0.0, 0.2, 0.025, 0.016 and 0.012 inches, and on the other side is 0.64, 0.41 and 0.30 in millimeter, and they're the strings I bought. You can go to any music store and get them. So there you go, keep on building, folks. Yep, that's the 3-string guitar. I just hope that the video helps, you know, others that are trying to build these. I'm a beginner as well, so I mean my woodwork isn't fantastic here, but it plays and I'm enjoying it, and I'm trying the different sounds with the different, you know, metal bridges and the front and back. The metal gives it more of a twang here, and the wooden type, and that's metal strings. And then if you've got a wooden type with the bridges out of bone, it's much more softer. It's much more softer. Right? So that's a much softer wood tone, and the other one's more nearly like electric guitar. Excuse me. I hope this helped you. I hope this helps you with your. I hope this helps you with your build, and you know, if you have any suggestions or little tips or ideas, put them down on the YouTube channel. I'd love to see them. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Back to building.